And as you get a little closer look at how steep the slope is that Brooks's ball is now perched on, I agree with Robert. That ball could have come back. It is downwind, and that kept it from spinning too much, but that ball could have gathered a little closer to the hole, Robert.
Absolutely. It looked like it should have, and we do have a good look of how steep that slope is. Just look how much lower on your screen his left foot is from his right. Means you got to be a little careful with this one. Oh, no. What a good putt.
This group has hit the edge of the hole a lot in the first hour and a half of golf, whether it was flag in or not, and these holes are just not particularly generous right now.
No, one of these guys will get some group momentum going, I think. You know, somebody will do something great, then they'll all kind of pick up. They're all playing a little too good to be this flat.
It's a cleanup here for Brooks.
You know, if we were in a bar, Robert, I'd say we're just waiting for that third round, you know? Something to get things going.
That's right. As long as you're buying, I'll meet you there, Johnny.
Berger next for his birdie, and often, I wouldn't say overlooked anymore with his wins. Just playing extremely well in recent.
Hard putt to read here. You want it to go to the right. But there's a brow off that bunker that holds it out to the left. Oh. It was trying to turn.
Two good putts by this group. I kind of agree, Reed, with the overlooked statement. I mean, he's a little under the radar for as great as he's been playing, but he's also playing with Brooks and DJ. I mean, who outside of a handful of guys, they're all getting overshadowed in this group.
One guy not overlooked is DustinJohnson, just inside 4 feet here for his birdie. And you make we've talked about the West Coast to East Coast travel here. Does it affect a guy like Dustin as well as he's playing?
It shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, he did win over in Saudi Arabia not that long ago. Right. That was a little bit of extra travel. And you know, when you're in that zone and you're as good as he is, it just doesn't matter. Dustin's proven he can win on every style and every type of grass that there is.
He's not exactly waiting in the TSA pre-line either.
No. Well, the planes he flies on has a nice couch you can lay back and fall asleep on.
We go to Thomas here on the 16th hole. He needs to get going pretty quickly here, Robert.
Well, after driving 2 in the water so far today, he's kind of bailed a little bit on this one. You see the water over on the left, that was all carry. He is sick of that. That ball went straight out of the screen.
Yeah.
Woo. All right, Justin.
Big shot.
All right.
Asking it to sit down there. Just off the putting surface.
Good deal. He just didn't want it to roll in that Bermuda rough. It's tricky when you've got a little short chip and gnarly Brillo pad looking rough.
Yeah, and you take a look at Rory's drive, how far he's past Homa, and like Homa doesn't hit the ball short by any stretch, but Rory, like we were mentioning earlier, has that extra gear.
Absolutely. He took a more aggressive line left on this dogleg left. Homa with 124 in, Rory with a measly 65 yards in. I said it earlier, though, when you're watching Rory McIlroy with a driver in his hand, it's possible you're watching the best of all time.
Nice shot there from Max Homa.
Typically, too, you'd say, well, 65 yards is a little too close. You can't quite spin it as much as you'd like to. But with a back hole location, that's no big deal. A perfect shot here would land 10 feet or so short and kind of run to the hole. It's even, the green's even sloped a little that way, short. So, yeah, if it lands, lands 10, 12 feet short, it should carry him forward a little bit, come in close.
Looks like the 60-degree there. Gets it pretty close. And that's one part of his game, Robert, that he, he's excelled at, but of recent, right, he's talked about a little bit in his pressers that maybe he's getting too technical, maybe he's working on his swing a little bit too much.
It's over the years of watching Rory, that club right there has been hot and cold. There's times that you see him and he makes it look easy, and times that,
You're good, yeah.
from those kind of shots in the middle of the fairway, I've seen him make more bogeys than any other great player. It's just a little bit of hit and miss for him.
Now DJ on 16 looks like a 3 medal, John.
It's 290 from this tee to the bunker up the right-hand side. There's a sign about 20 yards left of that bunker. About a 260 carry on that line. And Dustin's taking it about 25 yards left of that downwind with the 3-wood.
Wow. Johnny, it bounced. I don't know if it carried the red line or if it kicked backwards, but it certainly hit on dry land.
Big 3, yeah.
Yeah, I think that sign is the target. And like I said, that ball from Dustin, 25 yards left. Now, spotter ran out there, put a flag down, so we're thinking it's up. And this is on a much more conservative line, turning over a little bit though.
Highlighted that sign that you have picked out in the distance there, Johnny. I think that probably was pretty much right at it.
We're going to stay here with Berger. He saw one good drive, John, and one not so good drive.
Well, this really couldn't be a harder shot for Daniel. I mean, he hits a cut almost exclusively. He's got to aim this close to the 20 yards, 30 yards short of the green and cut it back into the fairway. That narrows the fairway. He certainly isn't going to try to hit a draw here. Looking forward to this.
He also launches his driver lower than most, so scooting through the fairways is a possibility.
This one's not fading. Oh, but it's probably long enough. Oh, goodness.
Aggressive.
A couple of guys with some bowed wrists in the same group.
Something that was a big no-no when I was a kid, supposedly.
We did hear that Thomas did miss his birdie putt, and now Max Homa for his birdie try.
Homa being a Scottsdale from California, lives in Scottsdale. Bermuda's probably not his cup of tea, but he's been rolling it really well, obviously, so far this season. That was a pretty putt. But Green just took it.
Gonna tap that in for par. No harm, no foul for Homa. Now, Rob, when you're playing with more freedom, like Rory has mentioned, does it translate from everywhere, from off the tee approach, as well as this part of the game? Because we know putting is clearly the most important to score here.
Well, you would love to think that. And there's times when you're in the zone that everything does kind of come free and natural. But in almost every round of golf for a player on the PGA Tour, there's going to be parts that do free flow. And whether you're putting well that day or chipping well that day or hitting irons solidly, and there's going to be parts that are just hold on tight, and hope I don't really make bad mistakes. This is preferably you would like to be as free as you can. Honestly, once you get you read the putt or you get your yardage and you make the decision, you'd like to be as free on that shot as you are on the driving range.
Right.
That sounds good, but it doesn't always happen.
Right. We notice here he is not using his usual Spider X putter. Not a problem. Birdie for Rory, -3 as we go to break here. The first World Golf Championship here at PGA Tour Live.